Um, so I thought then this morning, because of the interest expressed by the group, that we could probably use a discussion about ayahuasca as a kind of a bridge to many of these other issues. Some people don't know what ayahuasca is. Some people are keenly interested. Some people's interest is personal in that they're going to take it and they view it as an experience that lies ahead of them, and what should they think about that. I'm interested in all of that, but I'm also interested in studying it, talking about it for the issues it raises about psychedelics generally in culture. Confluence of stuff happening there. First of all, let me give you the basic facts. Ayahuasca is a Quechua word. It means vine of the dead. It is used to refer to a huge jungle liana, a woody epiphyte of the Malpighiaceae called Banisteriopsis caapi. And this plant was first described to science in 1853 by Richard Spruce. And throughout the upper Amazon basin of Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, or sometimes merely used in a cold water infusion, almost always in the combination with one other plant, to produce a beverage, a drink, that is, if made properly, extremely hallucinogenic, and is the basis for a shamanism over a very wide area in South America, both the indigenous tribal shamanism and the mestizo shamanism that has arisen in the populations that have moved up these rivers. Well, there are several things interesting about ayahuasca. First of all, from a chemical point of view, what it is the Banisteriopsis caapi contains beta-carbolines, such as harmine, harmaline, tetrahydroharman. And they are, while themselves hallucinogenic at high doses, they're not being utilized as hallucinogens in this brew. They are instead acting as MAO inhibitors, monoamine oxidase inhibitors. They are inhibiting the monoamine oxidase system in the gut so that the chemical constituent of the second plant is able to survive passage through the gut and enter the bloodstream. And the constituent of the second plant is DMT or dimethyltryptamine. Normally, this is a compound that has to be smoked. Makes it active orally, so it becomes an orally active hallucinogen. Well, the first thing to say about this is we're dealing in a realm of extremely sophisticated pharmacological theory, where a compound normally destroyed in the stomach is made absorbable in the intestine by being complexed with a second compound which suppresses an enzyme system. I mean, Western pharmacology didn't get to this kind of thinking until the 1950s. These people have been doing it since the year zero. Interesting about ayahuasca is that when you carry out an exhaustive survey of the constituents of ordinary brain metabolism in human beings, you discover both these compounds present in ordinary metabolism. In other words, this is not so much an invasive compound coming in from the outside as it is a metabolite. What ayahuasca is actually a soup of human neurometabolites that are going to shift the ordinary ratios of DMT, serotonin, and beta-carbolines in the brain. So in a way, it's unlike any other drug because it's entirely composed of neurotransmitters. What else is interesting about it? What caught the eye of these early ethnographers was the persistent reports among these tribal people that ayahuasca induced states of telepathy. And in fact, up until in 1923, Hochstein and Paradis, two European chemists, characterized the alkaloid in ayahuasca, and they actually named it telepathine. And it was carried on the books as telepathine until the 1940s, when it was realized that harmine, a compound previously isolated from a giant Syrian rue, was the same compound, and then by the rules of nomenclature, that name took precedent. But it was for a while called telepathine. Well, this is very interesting to me. It's subtle. It's hard to analyze. Telepathy is something which happens within a domain of shared language, ordinarily. I've taken ayahuasca numbers of times with people in these native settings, and there is a kind of processing of group intention that I imagine is very impressive if you are, if you share, if you're part of a tribe of 70 people that has hunted, traveled, and died with each other for your whole lifetime, and then you take this stuff, I imagine you're pretty well melded together. And it's the notion that the elders of the tribe get together under situations of social stress, and then they take the ayahuasca and they see what is to be done. If it's a matter of moving the hunting ground, retracting hostilities from some other group, moving upriver, this is the kind of thing. Well, if you think about shamanism, it has always been about these group dynamical inputs from the environment. Primarily in many societies, a shaman is a weather predictor. And weather becomes very important because weather is impacting on the food production capacity of the group and all kinds of other things. Then finally, and to my mind, the unique and promising aspect of this ayahuasca thing and what makes it unique among all that I know is there is in the Amazon this folk notion of what is called an Icaro, I-C-A-R-O, Icaro. And an Icaro is a magical song. It's similar to the notion of the peyote song, that while intoxicated upon ayahuasca, you will be given a vocal empowering. But what's interesting about these Icaros is that they are, within the context of the culture where this is going on, they are criticized as pictorial and sculptural compositions, not as music.